Aloha and shalom. We're here for the first quarter activation. We're live. I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up. And yes, I'm in a different space today. You guys know. I just gotta do the activation where and when I'm able. And the main point is that we do it, that we get together and we do it. And we're consistent. And for those of you who are here for the first time, we've been gathering every week for many years now. Pretty much every week, right? Like we've maybe only missed like a handful. So I'm gonna go ahead and begin to shuffle the deck while you all tune in. And this is the first quarter activation, meaning we had the new moon message last week and we're 1 week into this 4-week lunar cycle. So we just started a new lesson last week and we've just begun to settle into it. We're just starting to understand what the theme really is here and what work we have to do. So when we pull these cards, these archetypes, these characters are going to speak to us and give us a map for how to move forward, move through this part of the process with the most grace and ease, with the most proficiency as individuals, but also as a collective unit. Yay, we have Georgia in the house. Where in the world are you? Let me know in the comments where in the world you are. Let me know. So yeah, just drop a comment. Let us know where you are in the world, and just imagine that every time you see somebody mentioning a place that they're at, you just see that part of the globe lighting up. So we're lighting up the grid, literally, quite literally. I'm just gonna go ahead and shuffle the Hebrew cards now, and they work the same way as the tarot deck. They look like this. Feel free to share this video now while we're live with family, friends, or someone who could use an uplifting message right now. Maybe you know someone who's struggling and could use the community, or maybe you know someone who's a very powerful person and you want to invite them into the portal now to get them to help us further activate this message. And of course, feel free to share at the end when the recording is there on the wall. It will also go to YouTube and Instagram, Rebecca Magic, as usual, for anyone who's not on Facebook that you want to share it with. All right. Beginning with the tarot deck. Thank you, Archetypes, Faces of the One, in advance for this message that's about to come through. Thank you, thank me, thank we, thank the one and all. We're so grateful for this time and space to do the work and play. Starting with the challenge and gift right now. The challenge and gift are one, and they are the most important focus. I'm gonna pull today a hidden fear. And it's not like, ooh, scary, something to be worried about. Rather, when we pull that hidden fear, what it does is show us maybe a blind spot and something that we're just not seeing out of maybe a past fear. It doesn't matter if it's from, you know, another lifetime, or it doesn't matter where that fear came from. The point is there's something in there, a limitation. And when we see the opposite of that fear, it's gonna give us a tool to use. So that's what the card's really about. It's not really anything to actually fear. And why we're going through this. And a little glimpse into the future. But as you guys know, I always say this, we're not able to predict the details of the future because we're writing them right now with all of our choices. But we can ask, what is a reflection or a glimpse into the next cycle, the next part of the grander cycle, because that is reliable, because the cycle is consistent. The cycles within the great cycle of nature are consistent. So give us a glimpse into that. Thank you, thank you. And then the Hebrew letter ally of the week. And if for some reason you can't hear me or something cuts out, just do me a favor and let me know in the comments, okay? And I'll do my best to make sure I'm checking it out. Okay. Beginning with the challenge and gift. Four of Swords. It looks like this. Ooh, death. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Four of Swords is all about rest and integration. It's the suit of swords. So it has to do with a challenge that we're currently going through. Okay, so this is all about taking a pause and everything that's been revealed to you, everything that you've learned, everything you've been cultivating in the last however many weeks, in the most recent weeks, right? It's time to integrate and process that. It's not time to make a decision right now. It's time to just really sit with everything that you've received, really slow it down, really analyze all of that, take the space that you need to do it, pull back a bit, and just get in the zone so that you can process everything to the point where you can then make a proper decision on how to act within your current challenges and opportunities. So we don't want to react right now hastily. We don't want to jump into a reaction. We want to pause and just kind of take everything in, because chances are, if you rest and allow that information to properly be processed, then you're going to come to a more well-rounded decision. You're going to see things or pick up on things that you wouldn't have if you had rushed into a reaction. So a lot of change has been going on for you, for all of us. A lot of things have been shifting. A lot of things have been revealed. Do not be so quick to act on all of that. We're only at the first quarter. Always look to where we are at with the moon. I'm telling you, I get the most impatient questions from clients when I'm close to the full moon. It's like, oh, just wait a second. The answers are about to come. So you can always look at the moon. Right now we're at the first quarter. We're just in the beginning. We just had the new moon. So it's definitely not a time to act. We definitely don't have the whole picture. It's really a time to rest and integrate so that when the time comes to decide, what belief should I really form around this? And hopefully it's always going to continue to be flexible as you change and grow. So will your beliefs, right? But it's really about integrating and asking, slow down. Okay, how can I form proper beliefs around this? Not rushing into something and then compromising my ability to program the most proficient programs within my consciousness, right? How can I slow down and choose my words more carefully based on everything I've just been given, based on everything that's just been revealed to me? Now, how can I respond to the people around me and the situations around me with more presence, more awareness, and more intention? Because if I just receive this information, I don't want to rush into acting on it. I really want to think about it. I really want to make the most of everything I received and move forward gracefully. So Four of Swords right now, challenge and gift. Now, a fear that might come up. Here we have another four. And this is the Four of Wands. So different suit, it's fire. We're talking about spirit. And this is all about, okay, let's put it first in fear. Let's imagine what this archetype would say in fear. And then we'll change it to love and positivity. In fear, this archetype says, I'm afraid that I'll never have true success or true happiness. I'm afraid that what I really want can't happen because he or because she or because this or because that. I'm afraid that even if I did get what I want, it won't last. It's too good to be true. Okay, these are all statements of the Four of Wands in fear. And what does it look like if we turn that around? And this is the more important part, because the fear is not sustainable. The fear is not even real. But it's the antidote that is real and that will carry us forward in the most powerful way. So it looks like this. I can absolutely have what I want, and I know that what I want is aligned with the highest good of all, and so I have no reason to feel shame. I have no reason not to claim that thing that I know is my deepest desire, which will also serve the one. I trust that I can manifest my desires when they are in alignment with nature and the cosmos. I trust that I can manifest that in a way that it's going to be sustainable. I trust that I can manifest this beautiful foundation for my life in a way where no one needs to be hurt. No one's desires or beliefs need to be compromised, in a way that is harmonious with the processes that are unfolding all around me and within me. I trust that. Doesn't that feel so much more powerful? Doesn't that feel so much better? So you can see right away how these two go together, because it's like, okay, I just learned a lot about myself. I just realized so much about who I am and what I want in my life and on my path. And I may have had beliefs that have kept me from fully claiming that life because of the experiences I had gone through. And so deep down, I've been telling myself unconsciously and subconsciously that I can't have that for this reason or that, or it can't possibly be sustainable, or I can't have that unless it's at the expense of another, blah, 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 right? All these things. But now we're clearing that. We're going, okay, all the stuff that I learned about myself, I see that I need to honor that. And I absolutely can have those things in a way that is harmonious, again, with the processes unfolding all around me and within me. I don't have to hurt anyone to get this. And I've already refined my desires to the point that I've let go of those things that I know are not serving me or others. So what I am carrying now, the desires I am carrying now, I deserve to see come to fruition. It is for the highest good of us all. So I'm going to really relax into these realizations, into these revelations about myself. All these desires that I know I have now, and all these visions of the way I want to live, I'm going to just rest before I act. And I'm going to really see it as a reality. And I'm going to see it, and as I'm seeing it, I'm going to let go of the shame or the disbelief that I could have that. And in this process of meditating upon these visions, I'm going to reaffirm again and again, I'm going to reinforce the idea that this desire is for the highest good of not just me, but for the one. See what I'm saying? It's like a pause. You have these realizations about yourself. You know the life you want now. And the only thing in the way is your own fear and limitations. So if you just take a moment right now, the current challenge and gift, to pause and really move from the fear to the positivity of that archetype. Really move from the fear of why you couldn't have it and the positivity of why now is the time. Then you'll be able to be reborn. Then you'll be able to move toward this new reality and new life. And I also want to point out these are both 4, and 4 is connected to the major arcanum 13 and 4, of course. So let's look at both of those cards. The major arcanum cards 13 and 4. 4 is the Emperor, also known as the Sovereign. 13 is Death, also known as the Reaper. What do all these cards have in common? The Emperor, Death, all the 4s of the minor arcanum. It's all about a form, locking in that form, and then changing that form. It's all about the form and how that form is constantly evolving, okay? The 4, the Emperor, 4, form is the original form or pattern. Then Death, 13, reduces to a 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. It's a death and rebirth of that original pattern. So you can see here that these cards have to do with our forms in different dimensions. This is working on our form. This is rebirthing our life without having to actually die. Death and the casket there is a metaphor, okay? And the 4 here is the form or the foundation, the structure, the pattern of our spiritual reality, the unseen realm. So it's like the blueprint for what then manifests physically. Okay, so we're just taking a pause right now to really let go of those old programs that were telling us, no, we can't be our most authentic self. No, we can't have that reality because. Nope. Now we're resting and going, not only can I have this reality, I must, because it is a reflection of my most authentic self. And so I'm going to rest here and move from fear to love and imagine truly all the ways in which this new reality is going to serve myself and all of life. And in that envisioning process, it shall, by law, be manifested. All right, why we're going through this? 2 of Wands, and it's just reiterating what we said. This is all about opportunities, right? The world is in your hands. The wands are like a portal, a gateway that you're walking through. This is all about opportunity. We're going through this so that we can attract new opportunities that reflect who we really are. If you want to build that new reality, you need to rest and let go of the ideas that you had that were telling you you couldn't have it. In that rest, let go of that, and form or input those new belief systems, those new thoughts that are going to be more accepting of who you truly are and be more accepting of welcoming in this new reality. And in that acceptance, the birth of the new reality comes. So we're doing this so that we can attract new opportunities that are more aligned with who we really are, to finally bring in a life that feels more whole, a life that feels like I'm not denying any one part of myself, and certainly not the most important aspects of who I authentically am. And the future. 5 of Pentacles, it looks like this. And this can be comforting, okay? This can be comforting, I'll tell you why. It looks like, there's a beat up couple and they're still moving forward, okay? The tree is still lit up in this temple church window here. And the point is, there's still hope. Even though you've been through so much, there's still hope. How does that connect to the rest of the story? It's saying that, listen, if you just follow your heart and you honor who you authentically are, and you do begin to create a reality from that space, letting go of this idea that you can't have it because XYZ, then what's going to happen is you're going to continue on. You're going to do better, get better, heal more, move toward a higher reality, even though you choked your truth down for so long or dimmed your light. It's okay. It is never too late to claim the reality that your soul came here to live. And what's more is that whoever you're afraid of losing by making that choice, you don't have to worry. In fact, you can't pause to worry about that, because if you're really honoring your heart is one with their heart, and whether they lock in and commit to being on this path with you or not, it's for the highest good. You can't worry about that. In fact, you have to replace that worry with absolute trust and faith that whatever is meant to happen and whoever is meant to walk that path with you, that is what will be, if you choose authenticity, if you choose love, if you choose to be who you really are and not hide anymore. Okay, and on the contrary, if you do continue to hide, then you may continue walking this path with the same people or the same situations or the same job, the same projects, and you're just going to continue to walk in a wounded way. You're not actually going to reach that level of light. You're just going to continue to walk in the same wounds and learn the same lessons over and over and over. So instead, choose to continue on, because it's inevitable. We're going to continue on, but choose to continue on in authenticity, trusting that everyone and everything that comes your way is going to be a reflection of that higher choice. It's going to be a reflection of your most authentic self, so that you're no longer walking in a wounded way, attracting from that space of woundedness and going through the same loop, the cycle of learning the same lessons again and again. Okay? So don't be afraid of what you're going to lose along the way. Okay? Trust that if you move forward little by little, you're going to heal more and more and more. And you'll be surprised at all of the ways that the people in your life and the situations in your life will actually embrace who you really are. You are going to be more embraced, more loved, and more supported than ever before. So if you've had that fear of making a new choice in your life that honors more of who you authentically are, if you've had that fear because you're afraid of being judged, you're afraid of being left in the dust, you're afraid of someone being angry at you for it, the truth is that's not what's going to happen. And in the places that it might, it's also okay. You're going to have the strength and courage to keep going. Once you take that first step, that fire is lit, and it will inspire you and continue to inspire you as you move forward. So you don't have to be afraid of anyone being upset or leaving you behind, because it's who you really are. You're not losing anything by being who you are. If you lose anything by being who you really are, it was never really meant to be. And as I said, you will be more embraced than ever for being your authentic self. I promise you that. And it may not be in the ways that you thought or by the people that you thought, but the support and the encouragement and the embrace will come. And it's because it starts with you. When you embrace who you really are, and you love who you really are, and you accept who you really are, then as always, by law, the universe is a mirror, correct? So then it starts with you. So what are you waiting for? You're sitting there in fear, paralyzed in fear, not willing to take the first step because you're so worried about how the world is going to respond to this shift. It doesn't matter. You are the world. You are the microcosm of the whole. So all that matters is that you accept yourself, that you know yourself, and that you honor who you are and live from that space and forge a path from that space. And from there, everything else gets taken care of. This is a reflection of the famous quote, do your best and God does the rest. Absolutely. So what are you waiting for? Start within, do it for yourself, and know that by law, the universe is going to be a mirror. And the opportunities that come your way in all dimensions are going to be a reflection of who you truly are. No longer are you going to deny yourself and have the reflection be one of that denial. You may have been feeling like something's missing in my life. I'm not living fully. I'm not fully fulfilled and satisfied. This is because there's some aspect of yourself that you are denying, and we're all doing it all the time. And the whole point of this life is to continue to integrate the different aspects of ourselves in deeper ways, because the different aspects of who we are really just manifestations of the original frequencies of creation. Whoa, really deep. What I mean is when we're denying any aspect of our personality, of our soul, of our emotional body, of our mental body, any of these realms, if we're denying any one aspect of ourselves in any of these realms, what we're really doing is denying a certain frequency of light, denying a certain frequency of creation to be manifested within us and around us. Okay, we're limiting ourselves. When we deny any one aspect of ourselves, ultimately there becomes an imbalance. It reflects as an imbalance elementally, because we're made up of the elements. And then there's an imbalance in our polarities, because the elements then are summarized by the polarities. You understand? So you compromise your frequency as a whole when you deny any small part of yourself. So the name of the game is to learn the parts of the self and continue to form a bond more deeply with each of them and continue to allow them to be activated in you more and more deeply. So if you're not feeling fulfilled, it's because there's an aspect of yourself that you're not hearing, that you're not honoring, that you're not expressing. So stop worrying about what someone else is going to think or say. If you're right with yourself and you're being honest with yourself, if your process of self-reflection is honest, then the conclusions you are coming to from that process are honest. And you should be able to confidently carry through those realizations. You should be able to own those realizations and act on them. That is the intuitive process. You should have no fear to be who you really are. And that's the whole game, is that we're here to look at that. Why am I afraid of what this person's going to say? Or why am I afraid of what's going to happen if I'm just myself? Well, that's what it is. We got to look at that. We have to analyze that. And then we have to move past that. We have to transcend that and choose, despite the fear, choose to have faith, choose to have trust in the process, that if I just be who I truly am, which is aligned with, the processes of nature and the cosmos, if I confidently come to these conclusions about who I am and it's not hurting anyone and it's only going to serve the one, then absolutely act on that. Absolutely act on that. Whatever fears you have in regard to acting on who you truly are, really look at that and ask yourself why, because there's so much there to discover. Why am I afraid of this person seeing me in the light of who I really am? Is it ever about the other? No. So look more closely. Oh, well, it's because I'm afraid of being seen as this. Well, why? Go deeper. Oh, well, why am I afraid of this person seeing me like this? I'm afraid I'm going to lose them. I'm afraid they're going to leave me. Oh, well, why should I be afraid of that? Well, that's silly, because if I'm truly being myself and someone says, I don't like that. Okay. So what? Okay, that's fine. At least the truth is out and we can move in truth. So examine what is in the way. What are the fears you have of being who you really are, and allow those reflections to show you your deepest fears, which again are never about the other. It's never about the other. So meditate on all that, and that's the main challenge and gift right now, the Four of Swords, to really look at what's been in the way. What's been in the way of me forging a path from that place of true wholeness and authenticity? What is in the way of me accepting all of the parts of myself? Why have I been denying this part or that? And in this reflective process, so much will come up for you. And it's about really forming conclusions, okay? When those things come up, we're not just gonna let that be there anymore. Let's do something with it, okay? Allow those things to come up and then draw conclusions from them and act. It's time to really learn from these deeper reflections, take out from the deep what we need to bring into the light to heal. Okay, so we're gonna have that reflective process and ask what's been in the way of me being my most authentic self. And then we're gonna have a dialogue inside our own minds and hearts, okay? As those things come up, and I'm gonna give you an example right now. Oh, I'm afraid of being seen. That's why I don't wanna be my most authentic self. Then you're gonna have your higher self, the higher perspective, whatever you wanna call it, come in and talk to that other part of yourself and say, you have nothing to fear in being seen. You are here to be seen. If your light is truly a lighthouse, if it could help one person, if it could help to bring more light into this world in any way, which it will, because all of our light is here to do that, then baby, shine. Cut it out. Stop playing small. Stop hiding. We need your light. Okay, that's the kind of dialogue, the inner dialogue you want to have. So whatever comes up when you ask yourself, what is in the way of me being fully who I am? Draw your conclusions now. Bring yourself from the dark into the light. Come to that point of confidence in who you really are. Tell yourself what you need to tell yourself to feel safe and to feel invited to be all that you are. And don't wait for someone else to invite you to be who you are, because they can't. It's literally impossible. Only you can give yourself the full invitation to be fully who you are. Because only you know what that feels like. Only you know what that looks like. And so no more excuses about, oh, I can't be who I am because... No, you came here to be just that. To be fully who you are. And the ally of the week is Gimel. And this is the third letter of the alphabet. And it's flipped because we're on the screen, so you can Google it. Gimel, Hebrew letter Gimel. And it's connected to Arcanum 3, the Empress. And this is all about birthing the reality that you hold for yourself within. This is all about being a beautiful manifestation of what you are cultivating within. So this is so perfect to be the ally of the week, because it's saying see yourself as, like the Empress does, see yourself as not only worthy of goodness and abundance and prosperity and all that you desire, but see that as your birthright. That's why we are here. There are truly no shortages. There are truly no limitations. We're the only ones in our own way. And the Empress knows that. She knows that. She's got like the wheat at her feet. She's sitting on her throne. Okay, there's like this Venusian image of her in this flowing dress, and there's nature, trees, and a waterfall. And it's just saying that abundance is a reflection of who we are. It's what we cultivate within. The other aspect of the Gimel is the giving of the Gimel, the giving nature. When you understand that you are this abundant being and that you are connected to this infinite source of abundance and creation and life and light, truth, beauty, when you know you have that connection, as the Empress does, then you're able to truly give, then you're able to truly serve, because your cup is not only full, it's overflowing. Okay, so let's connect all the pieces here. First quarter moon, it's time to integrate all of the realizations we've had about ourselves, the life we really want to live. Envision that. What does it look and feel like to be living a fully authentic life, not denying any part of myself? And in that reflection, examining all of the fear-based thoughts that come up, all of the thoughts that show you I've been limiting myself from attracting that reality or manifesting that reality because of XYZ, right? So we're going to rest and envision the life we want and see all the ways we've been limiting ourselves from having that. And then we're going to turn those limitations around. We're going to do some alchemy in that space of reflection. And we're going to change those thoughts from fear to love, from lack to abundance, from I can't have to I'm doing it now. And in doing this, we're going to ensure that we attract the opportunities, right? When we come out of this meditation, we've done that inner work. We trust that by law, we're going to come out of that to a world full of opportunities, allowing us to say yes or no, according to this new frequency. And through our choice of yes or no, we're going to forge a path from that place of who we authentically are, from that place that we never allowed ourselves to come to until now. And we know and trust that everyone and everything that is meant to stay or meant to come into our lives absolutely will. And anything that's lost was never meant to stay anyway. And that all of this is not even real anyway. These are all shells in this outside world. It doesn't even matter, okay? Everything is one. So if you think you're losing anything, think again. Time and space are not even real, okay? And when we do that, when we honor who we are and we transform our thoughts from fear and limitation into acceptance and abundance and trust, then we know that we'll be able to be so full, overflowing, that we'll be able to be of service. You understand? So you're connecting this process, as always, to a higher purpose, which is always to serve, right? Which is always to bring more light into this world. Simply put, anyone can do that, no matter who you are or where you are in the world. So we're here for that, the Gimel, to be of service, to give. And so we deserve, not only do we deserve to have that overflowing cup, to be prosperous, to be fully integrated, we actually need to be that in order to be of service, in order to be overflowing and be our best self and serve others and serve the world. We need to be full and whole to be able to be of service in the best way we can. So connect that all, you guys. As we always do, we connect our higher purpose to the work that we're doing. If we want to serve to the best of our ability, which is why you're here watching this video still, which is why we're all here on this planet at this time. If you really want that, then you owe it to yourself to let go of the fear of what others are going to think or what's going to happen when I be who I really am. We need you to be fully who you are, to stop denying this aspect of yourself or that part of yourself, to give your fullest voice to the world, to give your fullest expression to the world. We need that. So actually, I can't take the excuses anymore. Actually, we can't have you playing small anymore. We need you to do this. So you don't have to, dance around it and say, well, I guess I'm worthy. I guess I deserve it. It's beyond a sense of worth. It's a mission. It's your purpose. We are actually here to specifically examine all the ways that we've been playing small so that we can shine our light more brightly. The fear that you've had about being yourself, and all the people that involves, your relationships, your job, the project, all the situations that you're in that involve this work, are all there as a catalyst to get you to come to this point of realization that I have been withholding parts of myself that the world needs. That the world needs. I've been withholding these expressions out of fear. And now I'm ready to unleash them. And now I'm really ready to express and radiate the light that I was holding back, because I know that it is needed. It is my duty. It's not just that I'm worthy. Okay, the joy and the fulfillment that it brings is just the gift. It's just a gift. It's not a sense of just being worthy. It's really about a sense of purpose and your mission. We need you to do this so you can stop making excuses. Okay, for a lot of people, it's easier to do the work when we know it's not just for us. For some reason, it's like, oh, if it's just about me, like I don't deserve it. Like, no, Let's let go of that. Let's rise up here, okay? And let's see it for what it really is. We need you to do it. You are more than worthy. You more than deserve it. The whole needs you. You are literally here for this. So let's get going, okay? No more playing small. Time to really rest, prepare to be reborn, and know that how that's going to happen is you resting and integrating and really accepting all the parts of yourself, all of your desires, and all that you want to see come true and come to be manifested in this reality. And that's going to happen only when you work through each of those fears that arise, each of those limitations that you've set within your mind. As each of those arise, you need to dissect them, analyze them, perform that alchemy, and shift them into the opposite thoughts. Okay, going from I don't deserve this, I can't have this person won't allow it, this person will be upset, into I must do this is my duty, this is my purpose, it's going to bring me so much joy. And in fact, the person I was worried that was going to be upset about this, in the end is going to be so much more fulfilled. And not just in a temporary, unsustainable way, but in a spiritual way, because the work that I'm doing is spiritual and it affects the unseen realm, which affects all other realms. So though I yesterday was afraid of how this person might react, today I'm trusting that it literally doesn't matter because I'm honoring my truth and doing what I need to do for the world, my purpose. And that person is actually going to benefit from that, regardless of how I'm judging it to look right now, or what I'm judging it's going to be tomorrow. I'm throwing that out the window, and I'm trusting that if I just follow my purpose and be fully who I came here to be, that every being and that all of life will benefit. Period. That's it. So be who you are. You're a star. Okay. So feel free to share this activation with anyone who really needs to stop playing small, anyone who needs to finally look at those desires or those other aspects of who they are and integrate them, okay? Share this message with someone who needs to not only feel their worth, know their worth, but know that the world needs that. Let's help everyone, our brothers and sisters, your friends, your family, whoever needs this message, to receive this activation in a way where they can move forward, not questioning their worth anymore, but really locking in this process, this path of becoming their most authentic self, because it's going to feel good, but also because it's what we need. We need. Phew. Thank you for being here for this activation. This is a very fiery one. I'm really feeling it, and I definitely relate in so many ways. So I'm looking forward to integrating all of this with you guys. Feel free to share in our private group, the Archetypal Alliance, how this resonates with you, or ask questions in the group. Shabbat Shalom for anyone celebrating. Thank you for all of your donations. My Venmo is Rebecca-Magic with a CK if you want to give back, if this activation touched your heart in some way, or if a previous one has helped you. And another way to give back is to just leave me a review, facebook.com/royalpathtarot. There's a way to leave a review. Or you can just email me and share some word. Let me know how these activations have helped you. My email is info@royalpathtarot.com. You can also book a reading with me through that email address, or you can private message me here. Okay, again, the email is info@royalpathtarot.com. Yes, I'm available for one-on-one readings wherever you are in the world. So reach out. I'd love to see you. Shalom.